Hey everybody, this is Chris from Games and Me, and welcome to the latest community question of the week for July 8th, 2009. Alright, so let's get into it. Getting into our featured podcast, we have Twee Game number 31, the Final Fantasy Company, TPPPG number 11, I Am Konami Man. We also have Angry Rivet Gaming number 4, and Roundhouse Roundup number 6. Alright, moving on to last week's community question of the week and the responses. And if you remember, last week's community question was a best and worst game you played on the current gen consoles. Alright, now for some community responses. We have Cat Cloud X, who picked Metal Gear Solid 4 for his game of the year. I guess best game he played on the current gen consoles. He also wrote he's probably the only person who doesn't like Brawl. Probably right. No? Well, maybe. You never know. There's High Mortal 7, whose best games Fallout 3 and Smash Brothers Brawl. And he came in with a tie with that. And worst game was Rock Revolution. Is game of the year is Resident Evil 5. Swift the Fox 15 as best games Smash Brothers. Worst game Guilty Gear on the Wii, and game of the year is, you haven't picked one yet. Good for you. Good for you. Cloud Strife XX1. Best game is Dead Space. Good pick. That's a really awesome game. Worst game Wheelman. Game of the year Klonoa. I've actually never played a Klonoa. I hear they're really good, but I don't know, I guess it just didn't do anything for me personally. I have a Quinn959, best games Uncharted, which it actually really is. That's an awesome game. If you haven't picked it up, go ahead and do so. You might want to look for a used copy because it's still running $60 at the store. At GameStop it is, I know. I'm pretty sure it's probably $60 everywhere else too. Worst game, Mortal Kombat vs. DC, and his game of the year is Infamous. We also have Captain Quark 60, best game Assassin's Creed. Worst game, SOCOM Confrontation. Game of the year Resident Evil 5, and that's also a really good game. Jace's Face picked Dead Space for best game again. Awesome game. Worst game, Facebreaker, and I played the demo of that and didn't like it at all. It was too button mashy. I guess they tried to make their little Punch-Out clone, and it didn't quite add up. It was too button masher-ish, and it just felt unfinished. It was, I'm sure it was a $60 title considering it was an EA game, and they really should have just made that for download only. I'm sure they would have saved themselves a hell of a lot more money and sold more games. And again, back to Jace's Face, game of the year, Resident Evil 5. Alright, and that'll do it for community responses. Moving on to the new community question of the week for July 8th. That is best and worst video game character ever. And for myself, best, I really like Ratchet from Ratchet and Clank. I think he's a well-rounded character, very likable, very funny. I also had to go with Conker. When I played the Conker's Bad Fur Day, I thought that was actually a very funny game. He's a hell of a character, crazy character, very funny, very foul-mouthed, and I'm actually kind of looking forward to another Conker game. Don't know if or when that's going to come out, but here's to hoping. And for me, worst game character I thought was Rayman. I'm pretty sure he's got some pretty good games, but judging by the character, the guy's just a torso, a head, and some hands or gloves and shoes. So I don't want to say they didn't put much thought into it. I'm pretty sure he's a pretty popular character, but he doesn't do anything for me. Alright. So that'll do it for this week's community question of the week. And you can check us out at gamesandme or you can go to gamesandme/forums and pretty much go to our forums and see what it's all about. Go to the website, see what it's all about, and also visit us on YouTube/gamesandme. And I think that'll do it. So good gaming, everyone, and take care. See you next week.